Howdy everyone, this is LockNutz, and you're watching a map tour of the Angevin Countryside by Mael-LTA. Hopefully you'll stick around to see what happens. Howdy, how are you guys doing today? Oh my goodness, I tell you what, today we get to go on a map tour of the Angevin Countryside by Mael-LTA. This little bad mamma jamma is 352.03 megabytes to download and is very cross-platform friendly. Now, I have gone ahead and started this off on new farmer mode. That way you guys would know what you'd be getting yourself into if you did start off on new farmer mode. Now, this little bad mamma jamma of a map is based off of French villages near Angers in Maine et Loire. And I do apologize if I have pronounced that wrong. It has 155 fields in it, 6 forest areas. This is the official FS19 updated version for FS22, and it has 20 collectibles. Now, the collectibles are kind of unique on this one because the easier ones to find are only $5,000. The ones that are more expensive or harder to find are $50,000. So it really does have a lot of incentive to really do a little bit of digging, rocking and rolling, and seeing what you can get off of that. Now, this map has been out for a little bit. It was taken off of Mod Hub, and now it has been brought back with an update. And here's a little list of things that have happened on the update. They have fixed the bodies of water on the entire map. Authorizations of buildings have been happened. Fixed missions gear near the store. Fixed the main farm buildings from not loading in the hard game. Fixed flying trees. Fixed a wooden sign going through buildings in the main farm. Added more car traffic. Modification to the sheep building. And modification to the big pig farm. If you guys did actually have the opportunity to get in here and get this map, you would be able to not keep your save game. You'd end up having to go ahead and do something new here. So with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and take a look at the implements, the tractors, the tools of the trade if you were to start off in new farmers mode. Alrighty then, so this is where you end up starting off with. You do start off with one small tractor, a beautiful Steyr. Medium tractors, you start off with one Valtra and one Massey Ferguson. Nice 1-2 combo you got going on right there. Harvesters wise, you start off with the Dutzfar top liner and header to go along with it, and the trifecta having the header trailer. Not too shabby at all. You do have this lizard pickup right here. It is gray, so you got that going for you. Trailers, you start off with one Welger trailer. Not too shabby at all. Cultivators, you start off with the Rab cultivator. Seeder, you start off with the Nordstein. And weights, you start off with a pair of weights to get yourself rocking and rolling. Not a lot to go ahead and start off with, but I tell you what, it's just enough to get things going and get yourself rocking and rolling. So let's take a second here and go ahead and look at the map and see what you would be starting off with if you were to start off in new farmer mode. All right, and this is the map that you got going on here. So as you can see, it is just an absolute mess of a jigsaw on this thing. Oh my goodness gracious, I tell you what. But with that being said, there is a lot of different options here on this thing. Everything's kind of spread out a little bit here, not too shabby at all. This is where your main farm is. Now I'm going to come on here for just 1 second. We're going to look at some things, and then we're going to have to look at some other things as well. So starting off on the farm here, you do start off with this one plot right here. You start off, this is your starting farm. You start off with field 1, field 14, field 73, and field 150. Not too shabby. It's a little spread out, but you know, it does make a little bit of sense here in just a minute. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the field prices here. Field 17 is your most expensive. Yes, field 17 is your most expensive field at $216,000. Now, I could be very, very wrong with this, but I believe little tiny field 53 over here coming in at $3,336 is the cheapest one on here. If I'm wrong, guys, go ahead and comment down below. I believe that one was the cheapest one that I seen on here. The exterior of the map, you can go ahead and buy with all its little nooks and crannies for a cool $18.6 million. And forestry-wise, we do have ourselves a relatively decent forestry or chunk in here at $1.6 million. Now, there are a couple other forestry areas in here as well that you can go ahead and gobble up, but that's just some of them right off the bat. Now, there are a handful of starting farm locations on here. Now, if you guys could give me just 1 second, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to quickly buy all of those really quick so we can pinpoint where they are and kind of show what's unique to each of those locations. All right, so this is the other locations that are on the map here. So we'll kind of start off in this corner over here by this one by field 145. This little bad mamma jamma right here is only $26,000 and it has a sheep pen in it. This location right up here is $21,000 and that one also has a sheep pen in it. This one up here by 73 is $44,000. That's some nice storage up there and has a couple of gas locations that you can go ahead and buy. This location right here doesn't have anything special up here by it, but it does come with this chunk of land over here. So it's a little bit more expensive at $88,000. Coming over here, hitting this guy by field 26. This is 18,000, almost 19. And this thing has horses by it. This little tiny guy over here by field 44 is only $7,000. And it has pigs in this one right here. And last but not least, from what I have found, we have this little bad mamma jamma by field 19, and this has a cow barn. Now, your place right here does come with a cow barn as well, so you got that going for you. Actually, let me double check that. Yes, you do have the cow shed over there. I just wanted to make sure. There are these other locations in here, but from what I can tell, that's all that is there. Guys, if I'm wrong, go ahead, comment down below. Let me know how I've screwed this one up, if you will. There's the standard crops on here, so nothing absolutely special. At this point, let's go ahead, back out, take a look at the map from ground and see what we can find. All right, guys, so one of the things I want to go and do here is I want to turn the map on the corner of the map or the screen so that you guys can kind of follow along with me as I go on this little bit of a journey here. Now, I want to start off looking at placeables before we get too far ahead of ourselves here. When we go in here and we take a look at the placeables, there are a couple ones that are a little bit unique to this map. Underneath the shed category, you do have a couple of these guys back here. You got a large shelter. You got this little bad mamma jamma, the Kulma. You got that one. You have this little ivy barn right here. And then you have this little bugger and then this little bugger with a back on it. Silos-wise, you do start off with a couple extra silos that you're not normally used to seeing here on this. So you kind of got that going for you a little bit to make your situation a little bit unique. And then the last little bit that I found on here where there are a couple houses that you don't normally see. Like this one right here. This is the one that's set up on this farm right here. And then we got this one right here, which does seem to be more like a barn slash... it's a house with storage is the best way to say it. It does look pretty darn snazzy on there. And one of the things we can go ahead and look at here too is demolition-wise on this farm. You can get rid of your barn, your silo... but that's about it. So you can get rid of this stuff right here, your cow, well, I think this is your cow shed, and then your grain silo, not your grain silo, your bunker silo right here. Everything else has to stay though. So that's kind of what you're looking at right here on this particular place. So let's come on in here. Now this house actually is pretty unique. When you go ahead and you want to hit the sleep trigger, the sleep trigger is actually upstairs in the bedroom, which is kind of neat that you have the opportunity to kind of really do a good role playing. Come in here, up there's your sleep trigger right there. But if you're just looking to farm, I'm not gonna lie, having to crawl all the way through the house is kind of a pain in the butt. But all in all, it is kind of neat. They did do a good job of making this look pretty nice. They may want to fix that. I don't think that's code. Oh man, I'm an electrician by trade, so that's just funny to me. Oh boy, let's take a quick little gander around here. You do have your slurry pit that's right over here, nice and, well, I was gonna say clean, but it really isn't. You do have this neat little cow shed right in here. That's pretty darn cool. Nice big opening here. Now it kind of stinks there isn't a door somewhere back in here, so you're gonna have to get tricky or creative on getting your equipment back in there, but you do have a lot of storage if you can manage it correctly. Same thing with back over here. You do have your repair station right here. You do have a little tank back there for gasoline or petrol, fuel, diesel, whatever it is that your tractors are using. And then you do have a little bit more storage on here. Now, one common theme that you're going to find out here on this, there is no particular farm. Let's call it farm. There's going to be no particular farm that's really big. So everything is going to be relatively compact as we're going ahead and driving around here. So let's go ahead and get this thing out. And once we get this out, we're going to take a look at the map here just for 1 second. So we're kind of located down in the bottom right-hand corner to a degree. I think we're going to go up in kind of a counterclockwise fashion, take a little drive around here, look at some of the stuff that's going on, and kind of go from there. I'm going to do what I can to try and stop at the majority of all of these. There's fences there. I'm going around this. We're going to do what we can to try and look at the majority of the potential starting locations. I'll do my best to hit them all, but I can't make any guarantees that I'll actually remember to get every last one of them. But I am driving through the fields here. Now, that's not because I'm lazy and don't want to use the roads. It really is to kind of give you guys a little bit better perspective on the elevation changes and everything you got going on for that. Now, this is the area over by Field 9, and this is the one that has the cow shed on it. As well, as you can see, there is a little bit of storage on here as well. So you do kind of have that going for you. Nice little pasture off to the side. One thing that I am noticing here is that this area is tight. I mean, you got tight stuff here. There's not a lot of room. Oop, I'm going to go right off the map if we keep going that way. Let's go over here. What I was going to say here is that just kind of driving around on this map, taking a look at things, really doing my best to try and investigate what I'm seeing here. I am noticing that there's not a lot of room to navigate. It's tight spaces everywhere you go. Even around the edge of the fields, there's trees, there's obstacles everywhere. So it's going to continually produce issues no matter what you're going about doing here. As for the roads, I have seen some traffic, but it hasn't been super intense. So kind of keep your eyes open because they are clipping along at a pretty darn good pace. Now, I did want to come over here for one specific reason, and that specific reason is this. This trailer right here, it shows up as an icon on there, but it does not show up as anything that you own in any game mode. It is here in every game mode, but it does not show up anywhere in any game mode. And if you come up here, it says rented by you. There is no leasing fee on this. So from what I understand is that you can come over here, use this little bad mamma jamma for whatever it is that you want, and it's yours. And you don't have to really pay any fees, leasing fees or anything like that. So pretty darn slick, kind of like that, pretty darn neat. Let's continue our whirlwind tour around the map. And as I was saying before, you know, you take a look at these fields. We're going to kind of go on them again. So as you're going ahead and you're out here, you're navigating around in the fields. There's not a lot of really steep elevation changes, so that's a good thing when it comes to needing like big horsepower to maneuver yourself around and do all these little bits and pieces that you have to do. You're really not going to have to worry about any of that stuff at all. Now here you go, you got this little area right here set up where you have your one fuel tank that's sitting back over here, your petrol tank. Small machinery, that's it. That's all you're getting in here. That is absolutely it. Nothing big whatsoever. Which, like I was kind of getting at here, is one of the things that you're going to end up seeing is that there are a couple fields that are relatively large. They're not overly large and like, wow, what's going on here? They're all relatively decent size. Which is good because, like I said, navigation is going to be very hard getting around here and trying to make a go at things. It's just going to make things very difficult if you were to have to try and drive all over this place with big machinery just to be able to compensate for hills or even horsepower. So that's one thing that's kind of nice, but if you do like rocking with big equipment, that might be a little bit of a downer for you, to be honest with you. Now, here is the placeable area that is joined up with that one plot right over here. So this is this guy right here, and this is also part of this. So you buy this guy, you get this guy as well. That's where we're at with all of this right now on our little bit of a tour here. Not a bad location, pretty decent placeable area. You would obviously have to buy the trees as well, or not buy the trees, but you would be set up for doing forestry from that location as well because of the access to the woodlands over there, but you don't necessarily have to do it. That is a really nice spot for doing forestry though, or I should say buying the equipment to do forestry and so on. So this is one of your little forestry areas. As you can see, not very tightly compacted. It's very sparse trees in there. Probably not going to get rich off that thing, but you know what? It's worth trying. In this field here, I do like these fields that have this little bit of a an island out there with a tree, if you will. Pretty darn slick. I am liking that setup. Let's keep on heading up over here because I believe are coming up on, let's see, where are we at? Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. There's the this is the animal dealer right here, and as you can see, like a lot of the animal dealers here on FS22, you do have some storage. So I have not seen it yet, but I bet you probably will see at some point here. One of these places, you know, really be able to set up and go hardcore from one of these starting locations. I should say from one of the like the BGA or something like that, where you can go ahead and start up and get yourself rocking and rolling. Now this right here, I'm going to stop right out here for just 1 second, because this location right here, okay, this location right here is that one particular building that you can go ahead and buy. I believe it's the Cumo or Cumin or something like that. This guy right here, the Cuma. That's what this location is right here. It is on the map. If you do like how this is set up, which is actually pretty darn cool. Nice big storage for what you got going on here. I believe on some maps in the past, maybe it was 19 that I seen something like this. This was actually a place where you had like your store here. This was like a store in one of the other maps. Not too shabby though. Big space. Obviously you can do lots of things with that right there. Pretty darn slick. Let's see, can I jump the fence? Come on. All right, there we go. Good. Able to make it on out of there. So let's continue on with our little bit of a journey here. And let's see here for just 1 second. I'm going to bring this up here a little bit bigger. Okay. There we go. I want to get ourselves heading at least in the right direction here. So I guess you keep on going, same story as before. There's lots of obstacles around here. You're really going to have to just pay attention to what you're doing, because you're going to constantly smash into trees when you're harvesting your fields, plowing stuff, if you're not really focused on what's going on here. Here is one of your sell points factories. I guess the cheese. Yep, cheese factory right there. Pretty darn slick. Keep ourselves heading on down this way. And yeah, I mean, like I said, it's got nice open lands here where you can kind of rock and roll around. You do, like I said, run into the issue with the trees and everything you got going on there. You can only do so much, though. You really only can do so much. And off to the side here, you do have one of the nice little sell points on the map. Not too shabby at all. We're going to try and navigate through here. We'll see how this goes. And now this is one of the two larger selling points that are on here. Not selling points, larger forestry areas. So if you take a look at this, it's not as compact field-wise, density-wise, as you would see on some of the other maps that are out there, but it's big and it has a lot of trees in it, so that really does make up for a lot of that. And here is one of the other little facilities. Now, out of all the starting locations, I'd have to say this one and where we go ahead and start off with, these are two of some of the nicer areas, I would say, for getting yourself set up and rocking and rolling. Has a nice little storage right here, silo. You have your, what is this over here? I'm drawing a blank. I think this is horses. Sheep. I'm wrong. It's sheep. You got your sheep set up here. Not a lot of storage, but aesthetics and the way it looks, I just like how this one looks. I don't know. That's just me personally. It really does kind of give a small farm sort of setup, and actually this does look a lot like the farm, or whatever you want to call it, on Old Stream Farm by Black Sheep Modding. So that very possibly they could have talked, said, hey, you know, can I use this? Oh yeah, you betcha. Oh man. So let's keep on heading over here. We'll take a look at one of these other locations. Getting a little jazzy here. So this field right here, 150, this is one of the ones that you own when you start off a new farmer mode. That's an awfully long way to drive for almost nothing, so I don't know if necessarily holding on to this is the best of ideas. You guys obviously make the choice for yourself. See what you want to do. It's entirely up to you either way, so I'm just saying, I look at it and I think to myself, oh my goodness, I'm just not seeing it being worth holding on to that, especially if I'm way on the other side of the map, really. That's how I tend to roll. You guys can go about doing it however you guys want to. One thing I am going to do really quick, since we are getting very close to the edge of the map right there, I am going to go ahead and take this opportunity to hit the reset and see where this will actually take us. Okay, so it does take us right back up to the store. That's kind of where I was thinking she'd end up going, right back up to the store. And I do know that when you purchase vehicles or anything like that, this is where they will go ahead and pop up. So not too shabby at all. Pretty darn cool, I would have to say. Let's go ahead and quickly just finish up driving out up over here. And as you can see, guys, you still have lots and lots of forestry no matter what you decide to do. It's all over the place. What do we got right there? Must be a bump. I'm gonna watch out for that. Super slow. Alright, let's keep on heading over this way, and I want to take and cut across this field right here, because this is one of those fields. It is the largest field on the map. And as you can see, even though it is the largest field on the map, it's not super big, and it's doable. It's got obstacles in it. It's going to give you pain. It's going to make you struggle. You probably could go ahead and cut all this stuff down here and fill in the blanks if you really want to. Oh man, super crazy, super crazy. Nice big field, lets you go ahead and do whatever the heck you want out there. Should be able to make some good profits. Unlike field 53, which you're gonna not ever get rich, you probably won't even be able to feed your family off of this field. Oh my gosh, I think this is a good spot for us to go ahead and put on our Mary Poppins hat, fly up into the sky, and take a look and see what this map looks like from up above. Alright, so here we are ready to go up into the sky, and let's see what this bad mamma jamma looks like from up above. So as you can see, this forestry area where we were just driving through, it really does just kind of go on and on forever. Not too shabby. Lots of trees to be able to go ahead and jump out there and do what you need. Like I said, the compactness of the trees, the density of the trees isn't super intense, but this is not a forestry map, so I wouldn't expect it to be super intense. Enough room to get out there, drive around, do what you have to do, harvest the trees where you want to harvest them, and then as you go over the map here, as you can see, like I said, virtually every last field has some sort of obstacle, some sort of barrier around it. It's gonna make harvesting everything difficult. It's going to make everything just kind of a pain for getting around in here. Narrow roads wherever you go. Oh man, I tell you what though, you get past that, this is an absolutely great map. Very beautiful, very well done. There isn't a single straight edge on here, and I kind of like that. I kind of like how, like I said, it's just a messed up jigsaw puzzle of a map. Let's go up just a little bit higher, get a little bit more view of seeing what's going on out there. And you could just see this patchwork all over the place. You don't have a lot of elevation changes, but gradually, if you notice this gradually, you have the higher side over here and it just gradually works its way down, or at least that's the way it appears to me. I could be way the heck off. Oh my goodness. Oh, guys, I tell you what, this looks like an absolutely great map. Why don't you guys go ahead, comment down below. Let me know what you think of this map. Where would you want to start on all of those locations that we just went over, looked at? Where were the place that you would want to start? Comment down below. Let me know what you think about that. And if you guys are liking what you're hearing, liking what you're seeing, go ahead and smash that like button. Help the channel out, subscribe to it. It would really, really mean a lot to me. I would appreciate it. Go ahead, turn the notification bell on and have it set to all. That way you know when this and other great videos are coming out. Oh my gosh, go ahead and share this with somebody who likes messed up jigsaw puzzles. I tell you what, they got a real challenge for themselves, you know? Oh my gosh, I tell you what, guys, this looks like an absolutely great map. I can't wait to get out here and spend lots of time rocking and rolling on this one. And until I get to that point, guys, thanks for stopping by.